What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video we're going to be going over the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning this Wednesday night's world title fight in Japan at 112 pounds between Kenshiro Teraji and Ricardo Sandoval. Guys, before I continue, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's been with me since day one. If you haven't already, could you please remember to hit subscribe? Could you also like this video? Also, hit the bell notification button so you never miss a video. And one more thing, a couple weeks ago, we launched our Johnny Says Boxing Insiders VIP membership. It's a couple dollars a month. It gives you access to our exclusive Discord group. In that Discord group, you're going to be in a community of like-minded boxing heads, as well as you're going to get up-to-date and exclusive knowledge of our parlays, our locks, our knockdown props. We got a lot of big-time bettors in there, some professional gamblers, so it's a good community to become part of, and more than anything, you're going to learn a lot. Click that link that's pinned in the comment section below. All right, guys, mid-week boxing action. 3 world title fights coming from Japan. We already featured one of those fights. Antonio Vargas is taking on Dago Higa. In this video breakdown, we're going to be talking about the world title fight at 112 pounds between Kenshiro Teraji and the American Ricardo Sandoval. Sandoval is a fighter coming from North America who has a high knockout to win ratio. He's been in there with some of the world's best. He has a few losses, never been stopped, and he firmly believes that he is going to get his hand raised against a perennial top pound for pound fighter. You'll recognize Kenshiro Teraji's name as being in the pound for pound list, popping in and out over the last 12 months. He's lost one time. He got stopped once, but then he avenged that loss by himself, winning by stoppage. This is a fun firefight. All the fights on this card, every time Japan hosts world title cards, we're tuning in, we're breaking them down, and there's a lot of money to be won on this fight card. So what we're going to do today, we're going to break down each fighter's career. We're going to talk a little bit about how they go about their business, and like always, stay tuned to the end of the video. That's where I'll be going over the current Las Vegas odds, and I'll be giving you my prediction and telling you where to put your money. Kenshiro is already 33 years old. I have to reference that because in his opponent, the traveling North American Ricardo Sandoval, he's only 26 years old, and we know in the lighter divisions, age does matter. Why? Because these guys are relying on their speed, reflexes, and instincts, and those are some of the first things to go the older we get as men, especially when you're fighting as a world-class boxer. Sandoval's also not only going to be the younger guy, he's going to be the taller guy with a longer reach, and he's going to be seeking the knockout. It's going to be really interesting. Currently, Las Vegas has Sandoval as a pretty favorable underdog, but before we get into those odds and before I tell you where I'm leaning on the victor, I do want to remind everybody what's at stake Wednesday night in Japan. All right, guys, WBA and WBC flyweight titleist Kenshiro Teraji returns to action in what could potentially be a very dangerous unified championship defense against Ricardo Sandoval on Wednesday night. Teraji, the ring's #1 rated flyweight, welcomes the opportunity to face one of the 112-pound division's top contenders, and I quote, "I watched the video and he's a really good boxer in a fairly aggressive style. He pushes forward," the defending champion said, "so I'm really looking forward to fighting him. I will also try to pressure him to make him back down, but if that doesn't work, I sometimes think that I'll have to use my footwork." In his last fight, Teraji came on strong to score a come-from-behind knockout to defend his WBC title while securing WBA honors against Seigo Ikui. The Thrill-A-Minute encounter was one of the best fights so far this year and will live long in the memory for its dramatic conclusion. "I was really happy when the referee stopped the fight," he said. "I wonder if I was lucky there, or maybe I was more focused at the end, but I'm not sure about that. But I definitely was happy when I won. I was planning to make him back down, but he didn't at all. So in that sense, I was able to learn how to fight against an opponent who wouldn't back down in the last match, and think it was a good experience that will lead to the next one." The win went some way to getting Teraji pound for pound recognition. The 33-year-old Japanese fighter proudly sits at number 9 on the ring's mythical but much acclaimed list. "I'm happy to be among the world's best boxers, and it also motivates me to move up and even more, he continued. I hope to continue to move up in the rankings in the future. In order to do that, he's eyeing unified junior bantamweight world champion Jesse Bam Rodriguez, who sits at number 6. I'm thinking about moving up a whole weight class again, said Teraji, and I want to fight Bam. First things first, though, he'll have to take care of Sandoval. Far from an easy task. Though if we've learned anything from Teraji, it's to never count him out. Sandoval, the ring's number 5 rated flyweight, joined the paid ranks across the border in Mexico 9 years ago. An early 4-round majority decision loss didn't deter him from staying active, scoring contrasting wins over Oscar Vasquez and Raymond Tabagon before a UK visit saw him stop former world title challenger Jay Harris with an 8th-round finish in their IBF Eliminator. Guys, it's a fun fight. It's another one of these close fights to predict. Another one where going into this breakdown, I'm a bit torn. Just like yesterday's prediction of Antonio Vargas versus Daigo Higa, I'm a huge Antonio Vargas fan, but having broken the tape down and really taking my approach in terms of gambling, the advice my father once said, Johnny, always bet with your wallet, never with your heart, I ended up picking Higa to beat Vargas, so we'll see what happens there. In this fight, same way. I like Kenshiro. I've been watching him for a long time, but also Ricardo Sandoval, a young knockout artist, the taller guy, the longer guy. I think the odds are a bit unfair at the moment. We'll get to those in a second, but right now, let's take a closer look at the 26-year-old and see what he's been up to in his career. Guys, Ricardo Sandoval's 26-2 with 18 knockouts. Out of 779 fighters in the world at 112 pounds, he's ranked number 6. He's fought a career total of 155 pro rounds and carries into the ring a 69% career knockout to win ratio. His adoring fans call him El Nino, and the 26-year-old American is a 5'6" orthodox fighter. He was born in Montclair, California, but calls Rialto, California, USA home. We last saw him fight Henderson, 10-0, UD in the 10th. Gomez, 24-4, stopped him in the 10th. Butrago, 38-12, stopped him in the 8th. Sandoval, 37-3, won a UD in the 10th. Santamaro, 22-1, won a UD in the 10th. Ortiz, 17-6, stopped him in the 2nd. In the fight before that, he lost a majority decision, but then obviously went on this winning streak that has propelled him into a world title fight at 112 pounds against a top pound-for-pound guy. Sandoval, 26 years old, hard puncher. He's likes staying in the pocket. He likes fighting off of his front foot. We are going to get fireworks. Expect Teraji to do the same thing like I already told you. If you've ever watched tape on Teraji, the one thing that he doesn't do that well is move his head off the midline, and he's just like a lot of these Japanese fighters, very proud in a sense of how and where they put the fight and take the fight. So this is going to be interesting. We're going to see a test of wills, and we're going to see who is the most durable at the end of it. And the word durability is a word that I want you guys to keep in your mind with all these fights Wednesday night, because I think that's what it's going to come down to. These guys are all going to be fighting with pride, and we're going to see who's going to be standing at the end. Let's take a look at Teraji and see what he's been up to in his career. Guys, Kenshiro Teraji's 25-1 with 16 knockouts. His one loss, he did get stopped, but like I said, he avenged that loss. Out of 779 fighters in the world at 112 pounds, he's ranked number 1. He's fought a total career of 197 pro rounds and carries into the ring a 64% career knockout to win ratio. His adoring fans know him as the Amazing Boy, and he is the WBC World Flyweight Champion. The Japanese fighter is 33 years old, and he stands at 5'4" with a 64.5-inch reach. The Orthodox fighter was born in Joyo, Kyoto, Japan, and calls Uji, Kyoto, Japan home. We last saw him fight at Kui, 21-2, stoppage in the 12th. Rosales, 37-6, stopped him in the 11th. Gonzalez, 26-1, won majority decision in the 12th. Butler, 35-4, stopped him in the 9th. Alasquaga, 5-0, stopped him in the 9th. The Alasquaga win was a huge win. That was a fun fight. Just watch his last fight, fight of the year, contender. He's super exciting, like I said. A lot of action, a lot of output, a lot of volume, a lot of pride. He has power in his hands. He doesn't move his head a lot. He takes a lot of shots. These guys do. Think about how Sasaki looked against Brian Norman Jr. Similar sort of thing. Stands there, takes shots, and it works until it doesn't work. We've seen Teraji get stopped before. He did avenge that loss, and he won by stoppage. His only loss, he got stopped late, and in the rematch, he got him out of there in the 3rd. When I look at these guys side by side, it's hard to not bring up the youth. And usually when I'm leaning on my winner, I kind of always side with the younger fighter. But unless it's one of these instances where we see Teraji show up Wednesday night and he all of a sudden looks aged, you got to expect the pound-for-pound fighter to be at his best. Sandoval will be the taller guy, the longer guy. It's going to be interesting to see the speed and power advantage. Right now, I am kind of leaning on Teraji with both of those, but they both like to fight on their front foot, and we're going to find out pretty early who is going to be the first one to take a step back. Footwork, Teraji thinks he has that advantage. Sandoval likes to fight flat-footed. A lot of these questions will be answered come fight night. Before I give you my prediction, guys, I want to remind everybody that I do live streams every single day. In those live streams, that's where we go over our over and unders, knockdown props, our long parlays, our method of victory parlays. So make sure that you tune into those live streams. In these stats don't lie breakdown videos, you're only going to get my money line prediction. All right, guys, wherever you are in the world, let's pull out our sports betting apps. The book that I use down here in Australia is called Sports Book, and currently on the money line, Kenshiro is a $1.22 favorite, meaning you put $100 on him, you get your money back plus $22. The draw is 16-1. Sandoval is a $4.80 underdog, meaning 100 on Sandoval gets you your money back plus 380 bucks. Sandoval's almost a 4-1 dog, guys. In terms of value, money, risk versus reward, Sandoval at almost a 4-1 dog is a very, very exciting pick if you want to lean on the dogs. 100%. The dogs should be barking Wednesday night. You add Sandoval to a parlay, a little cheeky, sprinkle something on it for some upsets, and add Antonio Vargas to that. Those odds are going to be real nice. But for my pick on my money line, I'm going to keep it with the favorite. I think Kenshiro's class is going to be a level above right now in terms of where Sandoval is in his maturation. I think he's going to take a lot from sharing the ring with a pound-for-pound guy, but I'm fairly confident that the belt should stay in Japan, and moving forward, we could possibly see a fun fight between Bam and Kenshiro, two pound-for-pound guys, and only time will tell. Guys, you don't have to agree with me. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you see the Japanese fighter winning, or do you think the 26-year-old Sandoval is going to be upset-minded and take that belt home back to America? Also, if you haven't seen my breakdown, analysis, and prediction of another very fun world title fight on this card between world champion Antonio Vargas, who's going in as a pretty big underdog, against the challenger Dago Higa, stay tuned because that's coming up right now.